In this video, we'll look at the third main type of general solutions, and I'm calling it option C. The first one was where you've just got a function equals a number. The second option was where you've got different functions, but they have the same angle, and so the trick was to divide by cos. And in this third example, if we try and apply either of those methods, it doesn't work. We can't divide both of these by cos because the angles are different. And so the way that we get out of this mess, where that we've got different functions, sine and cos, and we've got different angles, is we just do co-ratios. And so it doesn't matter which side you do the co-ratio to. For the purpose of this video, I'm changing cos into sine 90 minus, carefully in brackets, whatever's there. And then that will just simplify to be sine of 40 minus 2x. Then the two steps you always want to do for general solution is one, you want to see which two quadrants you're in. And I can remember having this issue when I was younger of thinking, but this sign is positive, so shouldn't I look in the positive sign quadrants? But this sign is negative, so shouldn't I look in the negative? And the helpful way to think of it is just zoom out and look at it as a whole and say, what does a plus and a minus make together? And then you'll get your answer. It's a negative. So I'm looking where sine is negative, which is in the third and fourth quadrant. So step one, I've ticked the quadrants. Step two, to get a reference angle, typically I would have shifted. So if I had something like this and I needed a reference angle, I would have just gone shift sine of a half and got a reference angle. But if you've got the same function on both sides, sine and sine, don't worry that it's minus and plus. We've dealt with that by ticking the quadrants. If both sides are sine, then the right-hand side is your reference angle. And so x minus 10 is the reference angle whenever I need it. And then we dive into laying it out. So the angle 40 minus 2x will start off both of these quadrants, and then how you just say to yourself, how do I get into a third quadrant? It's 180 plus the reference angle plus k360, because that's the period of cos. How do I get in the fourth? It's 360 minus, carefully in brackets, x minus 10, the reference angle, plus k360. The rest is just taking x's to one side and numbers to the other, so it will feel from this step onwards a bit like a grade 8 or 9 equation. And then I divide by negative 3. Don't freak out that you've got a negative k and you've never seen that before, or even a negative answer, because this is absolutely perfect as your general solution. If that was a question, you could stop there, get your extra mark by just saying k is an element of the integer. And then typically a follow-on question will say, now solve for x, if x is somewhere between 0 and 360. And so all you'll do is you'll just say, the angle that I got, this angle here, is minus 43,3, somewhere between the domain they're interested in. In this case, no, it's not. And so what I do to make life easier is I just add or minus the number with k. So I'll just add 120 to this answer, and it spat out an answer of 76.7, which is somewhere between this domain. Then I'm just going to add another 120 and I get 196.7, and I'm going to add another 120 and that gets me 316.7, and I'm going to add another 120 and then that's got way too big, so I'll come to the other answer and I'll ask myself, does minus 330 lie somewhere in this domain? No, it doesn't. So I'm going to add 360 to it and I get 30. So that's legit. And if I add another 360 to this, that will be 390, which is just outside here. So then these become my four answers of the specific solutions. And so don't panic, don't fret if you end up with negatives here. It's absolutely fine. I know a lot of teachers might sub in integers for k, and they'll sub in 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 2, minus 4. But I find it easier just conceptually and ease of getting answers in the middle of exam to just keep adding this number that's with k over and over until I've exhausted the options in the domain that I have. I hope that you found that helpful. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. Thanks.